Hello, friends. Have you ever wondered about those ancient rules etched in stone tablets that are still so famous today? No, I'm not talking about your grandmother's cookie recipe, although those are divine. I'm talking about the 10 Commandments. Yes, those 10 little rules that have guided billions of people over millennia. But what do they really mean? And why should we care in our fast-paced, TikTok scrolling, lot-sipping world? Stick around because today, we're diving deep into the 10 Commandments, list and biblical meaning. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll be more enlightened than your smartphone's flashlight during a blackout. And who knows, you might even discover how these ancient guidelines could still have a place in your modern life. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's play a quick game. Raise your hand if you can name all 10 commandments. I'm waiting. I see some of you are Googling it. Caught ya? But that's okay, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know all 10, but you'll also understand their significance. And maybe, just maybe, you'll want to apply them to your life. And no, you don't have to carve them into stone tablets. Let's start with the basics. The 10 Commandments are a set of rules handed down from God to Moses on Mount Sinai that you can find in Exodus 20 to 117. These rules are pretty simple, but they pack a punch like a spiritual protein bar. So let's break them down, one by one. You shall have no other gods before me. Basically, this one's about loyalty. In today's terms, it's like saying, don't let anything, like money, fame, or your obsession with cat videos, take priority over your core values. You shall not make idols. No, this isn't just about smashing statues of golden calves. It's about not letting anything or anyone, whether it's your car, your career, or your collection of vintage action figures, become the center of your life. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. This doesn't mean you have to whisper every time you say, "Oh my God." It's more about respect. Think of it like not using your grandma's name in vain, because you don't want to be haunted by the ghost of guilt at Thanksgiving dinner. Remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. The Sabbath, a divine excuse to take a break. Imagine God saying, relax, you workaholic. Take a day off, binge watch something guilt-free, and recharge your batteries. Sounds good, right? Honor your father and your mother. This one's simple. Give your parents the respect they deserve. Or at least pretend to listen to their stories about walking 10 miles to school, uphill, both ways in the snow. You shall not murder. Pretty self-explanatory, right? No need to elaborate. Just don't kill anyone. It's like the ultimate do-no-harm policy. You shall not commit adultery. Another easy one. Stay faithful. Or as I like to say, if you wouldn't like it being done to you, don't do it to someone else. Simple, yet profound. You shall not steal. Whether it's a car, a cookie, or credit for someone else's idea, stealing's a no-no. It's bad karma, bad vibes, and let's face it, it's just plain rude. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Translation: don't lie about people, especially if you live next door. You never know when you'll need to borrow sugar or Wi-Fi.
You shall not covet.
This one's about contentment. Don't obsess over what others have, whether it's their house, their spouse, or their super cool garden gnome collection. Focus on what you've got, and you'll be happier for it.
So why do these commandments still matter? After all, they're ancient rules written thousands of years ago. But here's the thing. The principles behind them are timeless. They speak to universal truths about human nature and how we can live harmoniously with others and with ourselves.
The 10 Commandments offer a moral compass, a guide to living a life of integrity, respect, and purpose. They aren't just religious rules. They're foundational principles that resonate across cultures and beliefs. Whether you're religious or not, these commandments provide a blueprint for living a life that's fair, just, and fulfilling. Now let's talk about how these ancient commandments can fit into our 21st century lives. You might be thinking, sure, they sound great, but how do I actually apply them in my daily routine? Well, let's break it down, one commandment at a time, with some modern-day scenarios. You shall have no other gods before me. In today's world, this might mean not letting your work, social media, or even your love for avocado toast become more important than your personal values. It's about keeping what's truly important, like family, integrity, and faith, at the forefront. You shall not make idols. Okay, so maybe you're not bowing down to a golden calf, But are you spending more time with your phone than with the people you love? Modern idols can be anything that distracts us from what really matters. It's like having a diet of junk food instead of nutritious meals. Tempting, but ultimately not satisfying. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Respect isn't just a word, it's an action. Whether it's how we speak about our beliefs or how we treat others, this commandment calls us to be mindful and respectful. Think of it as verbal hygiene. Clean up your language and your attitude. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. In our hustle culture, this commandment is more relevant than ever. Taking a day off to recharge isn't just good for your soul, it's good for your productivity. Whether you spend it at church, with family, or in nature, honoring the Sabbath is like hitting the reset button on your life. Honor your father and your mother. This doesn't just mean doing what your parents say, although that can be a good idea sometimes. It's about valuing the wisdom and experience of those who came before you. And yes, this also includes calling them once in a while. You know they're waiting for that call. You shall not murder. Obviously, this one's a no-brainer. But let's take it a step further. How about not murdering someone's spirit with harsh words or actions? Emotional harm can be just as damaging as physical harm. So let's be kind and supportive instead. You shall not commit adultery. In a world of dating apps and fast-paced relationships, staying faithful might seem old-fashioned, but trust and loyalty are the bedrock of any strong relationship. Think of it as an investment. You put in the work, and the returns are priceless. You shall not steal. Beyond the obvious, this could mean not taking credit for someone else's work, or even respecting others' time. Stealing isn't just about objects. It's about trust. Once it's broken, it's hard to repair. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Gossip, rumors, and lies. Oh my, in our age of social media, misinformation spreads faster than wildfire. This commandment is a reminder to be truthful and to protect others' reputations as if they were our own. It's like the golden rule of communication. Say what you mean and mean what you say. You shall not covet. In our consumer-driven society, it's easy to get caught up in the keeping up with the Joneses mentality. But coveting leads to dissatisfaction and envy. Instead, let's focus on gratitude for what we have and celebrate the successes of others. After all, happiness isn't about having what you want, but wanting what you have. There are the 10 Commandments, not just as a set of ancient rules, but as timeless principles that can guide us in our everyday lives. Whether you're religious or not, these commandments offer valuable insights into living a life of integrity, respect, and balance. At their core, the 10 Commandments remind us to be mindful of our actions and their impact on others. They encourage us to live with purpose, to respect one another, and to focus on what truly matters. And in a world that's constantly changing, these principles remain as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the 10 Commandments. I hope you found some inspiration and maybe even a new perspective on these age-old rules. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. And hey, share this video with someone who could use a little ancient wisdom in their modern life. Until next time, keep living with purpose, and remember, it's not just about the rules, it's about the principles behind them. And if you've got any thoughts, questions, or aha moments from this video, drop them in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going.